Hello, welcome back to Listen Alyssa. I'm your host, Alyssa. Yeah, how you been? How you been? Good, I hope. It's great to have you here. Today I'm going to be breaking down finally.
Been there, done that.
Finally, the 6 steps to healing after a betrayal. We're going to be starting from a stage of you still might be in contact with this person. You're having maybe a hard time accepting what happened and really letting go of them. It's going to start from that stage. Okay, and then progress on into healing after you've already done that part. So if you've already done that part, don't worry. This is still for you. It's just maybe a few steps in the beginning you've already done. Good job. Check. Typically, what a lot of studies have found, and a lot of therapists have come to recognize in more recent times, is the way they were addressing pain or trauma from a breakup largely with everyone was kind of like a blanketed method, attributing the pain of a breakup to something similar to the pain of losing someone, loss, grief, the steps of grief. So the way to heal it was addressed the same way. And that's effective most of the time. That's effective if it's a breakup where they just kind of grew apart, or it's a breakup where they had their problems, but they just, they weren't compatible. But when there's a betrayal, what they were finding is that some of their clients were going through all the steps. They were going through all the whole path about healing grief and loss, and they were addressing it the right way, and they were doing all the work. But at the end, they weren't feeling better. They were still harboring this heaviness, and they were still carrying along the pain of this betrayal. Some took note of that and realized that maybe there's another aspect to the pain of betrayal that is not addressed by simply addressing the grief and the loss of the person. You have to address the betrayal. A betrayal takes away certain things from you that our needs and our basic rights, and it's a violation of you. So it's very hurtful in a totally different way than having a loss or going through grief. A lot of therapists are revamping the way that they address betrayal with their clients. And in particular, there's some that have come up with amazing ways to further address the betrayal. I have taken the best of the best information that I've found out there in the field from the best of the best people, the best of the best experts, the ones that I have gotten the most quality information from. I've taken those methods and I've mixed in a bit of my own that I have gotten through evaluation of some of the things that I got hung up on along the way, some of the things that I intuitively and insightfully reflected on in my own experience of going through this and added into the mix. And I kind of put it all together in my own mashup of what I would deem the best way to heal from a breakup. And I've broken it down into 6 different steps that you can go through. Let's get into it. Let's do it. To set the stage, if we were addressing it like most therapists would address it at this time, where you would look up some information online about it and you would find the steps to healing after a loss. They say there's 5 stages of grief. The 5 stages of grief, though, the model that's been around for ages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. Some people think that you go through each of these stages in a succession and in that order, and you have to be done with one stage and then you get into the other. It's not. They've found over the years that's definitely not the case, and you don't always go through every stage. There's people that have gone through all those stages and they are over the loss. They don't want this person back in their life. They don't want to date this person again. They don't want to talk to this person. They don't want to be this person's friend, but then they are not healed from the effects of the betrayal. So what is betrayal, guys? Betrayal means that someone that you put your trust into broke it. They did something that made you question or take away your trust. The actual word-for-word definition is to be disloyal to. Could be to not be loyal to someone by helping their enemy or using something against them to intentionally hurt them that you have information about because you are close to them. That would be betrayal. To be unfaithful to or to betray trust. If in your relationship someone cheated on you or broke the agreement that you guys had agreed upon together behind your back and said things that they didn't want you to hear, that could be a betrayal. So in any way that you had a deep trust in someone and they broke it, that's a betrayal. To not be loyal to someone who believes you are loyal often by doing something harmful. It can encompass a lot of things, but basically somebody broke your heart, broke your trust, did something you never expected from them because you believed that they were very loyal and cared about you. That's betrayal. So let's just make that clear. I've had someone betray me. Actually, I think I just have my 2 relationships and then a friend or 2, just 1 actually, betray me. Well, no, I had 2 friends betray me in my life, yeah. And one, I never actually confronted her. It was a long time ago. Never confronted her about her betrayal. I found out about the details about it way later, and I just didn't care anymore. So I never confronted that. 2 of the others. Both in those situations when I said, you betrayed me, both of those people denied betraying me. They said that that was ridiculous and that they never betrayed me. That's an added layer on top of the already betrayal, is that a lot of people that will betray you will deny that what they did to you is a betrayal. So, in case that's you and someone is telling you that you're overreacting and that you're out of your mind and they're invalidating your feelings that are accurate, that is what a betrayal is, just so you can verify that for yourself. You're not too sensitive and you're not making this up, and if they betrayed you, they betrayed you. All right, so we're going to now go through the 6 steps of how to heal after a betrayal. Number 1, keeping in contact with someone who betrayed you when they have not done any work to apologize and make amends for that betrayal is like offering yourself up to the wolf again if you are the lamb. It's like going up and cutting up open a nice fillet for them and saying,
hey, let's try this again.
that's a wolf, and that wolf is going to bite you and try to eat you again, eventually, okay? Because that wolf has not proven to be anything other than a wolf. So, the very first step to healing after betrayal, if you haven't done it yet, is to cut all contact with this person. I promise you, no matter how much it might feel like the person who betrayed you is also the remedy and also holds all the power to heal you and to make it right, because it can feel like if they would just apologize, if they would just make this right, they're hurting me so bad, why won't they just take away this pain? I felt like that endlessly. I recently just saw this excellent clip from the podcast Hostess Lisa Bilyeu, and she is the host of Women of Impact. She's the co-founder of Impact Theory, which is her husband's YouTube channel, and they are the founders of Quest Nutrition, which is a $1 billion company. They are a very successful married couple. Lisa Bilyeu is one of my favorites, and she has so many women on her podcast all the time talking about the best topics. And if you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. It's huge. And one of my favorite guests that she has on there at times is Najwa. Her name's Najwa Zebian. I don't know if I said her last name right, but her name's Najwa. And she's a 4-time best-selling author. Every time she releases a book, it's just monumental. And she's a speaker and a creator, very impactful. Hence why she's invited onto Women of Impact often. And this is going to be a clip of them speaking. And this clip, just, it says it better than I could ever say it. So that's why I just have to play it for you. So here it is.
What we do is we wait for people to acknowledge it. Like, I can't heal until she apologizes. Or I can't heal until he sees what he's done to me. Why? You know what you went through. You really don't need that acknowledgement.
Why do we think we do?
Because we believe they have a lot more power than we do over our current situation. Be honest with yourself. Honestly. Do you genuinely need the person who hurt you to tell you, I hurt you, and I'm sorry, and I feel awful that I did it? It's beautiful to get it, but do you need it? Do you not know how painful the pain was when you experienced it? Do you need them to tell you how painful it was and give you permission to feel it? You don't need it. You want it. Because you believe your relief is going to come when they acknowledge what they put you through. And this is what I always say. Even if they do, you think it's going to take the pain away, but it doesn't, because you still have to heal from that pain. What is their acknowledgement and apology going to do? It's not like a magic, switch or button that just all of a sudden you're healed. You're still going to be like, but why? You're going to hold on to it because you are not releasing the pain and the anger and the whatever it is that you're experiencing on the inside. You're not releasing it. You're putting all the power of your healing in their hands.
Your injurer cannot be your healer. They injured you. They are the one that caused the wound. So they can't be trusted to heal that wound. Not only have they revoked their right to be in your life or in contact with you, it's also just unhealthy and not safe for you to be in contact with that person, because that person has proven that they will hurt you. Proven it. You don't need to question it. You don't need to wonder if you can trust them. They showed you that you can't trust them.
The one who broke you cannot heal you. You have to heal you. You can't expect the person who broke you into pieces to bring those pieces and say, I'm going to put you back together. You can't do that. You can, but why would you choose to do that? Someone who has the power to destroy you and uses that power, why would you trust them with rebuilding you? I am speaking figuratively, but you need to hear it that way. Mm-hmm. Someone who had the power to destroy you, who chose to use that power. When you are vulnerable, you are open to injury. You are open to pain. That means you go into something knowing that someone has the power to destroy you, but you trust that they won't. You've given them that power. They've used that power. Why would you say, I'm going to give you that power again so that you could fix what you broke? No, you don't do that to yourself. That's what self-abandonment is.
And like I said, if they have not done anything to apologize and make the proper amount of amends for whatever level of betrayal they have done to you, you absolutely should not be in contact with them for any reason. Unless you just have to, like it's like a child custody situation or family, if it's family or something, and like they have to be at an event you're at and you have to like be cordial or whatever. That's fine, but otherwise, if you don't have that, there's no reason to be in contact with this person at all. This person should be blocked, and this person deserves no right and no access to you whatsoever. Not only to the fact that they don't deserve it, just like the fact that you don't deserve it, because they could injure you again. They have not shown different than that. They have shown exactly what they will do, and they might do it again. So you need to cut contact with them. And I know this is very hard, but do not contact them. You got to stop contacting them. Now, this is hard because I have a tendency to want to leave the door open and always thinking that like I can find the right thing to say that's going to help them to understand and like see how much they've hurt me and how much this is affecting me. And I gotta show it to them. You know, if I just showed it to them, they would see it. And if I close that door, then I might never hear their apology. I might never see them make amends. I know this is so painful. The truth of the matter is, if they want to make amends with you, nothing is going to stand in their way of that. You blocking them is not going to stand in their way of that. You not reaching out to them and trying to show them all how much you're in pain and how much everything's hurting you. You not doing that step is not going to stop them. Because if they wanted to make amends with you, they would find a way. And it's been this long, and they have not done anything to attempt that. I'm sorry, I know that hurts so deeply. And I know it's hard to do, but you have to stop contacting them. There's another side of that. You also have to stop allowing them to contact you. So another mistake I tend to make is like, I'll be fine with not contacting them. I can do that all day. But the minute they reach out to me, I have a really hard time not allowing that to happen. So it's like, I won't go offer myself up to the wolf.
Stop the cap.
But if the wolf comes and knocks at my door, I probably will open it. And that's just as bad. So you can't do that. This whole system is going to teach you how to have as much consideration for yourself as you're just dying for that person to have for you. Because you know why you're just so beat up over that person not having that consideration for you? And it's not because that person, you thought they loved you. And I mean, that plays a role, okay? I understand. And that's definitely what your brain is telling you right now. And I get that. But there's a reason that you kept gravitating towards this person. It's because you don't have that consideration for yourself. You don't have what you think you can get from them to give to yourself. We're going to get into that, okay? But no contact. Don't let them contact you. You don't contact them. This is like one of the hardest ones. If you can just get past that one, you're going to be so much better off. And the rest of them are going to be a lot easier, okay? If you're not doing that one. Okay, I promise. I know it hurts. I'm sorry. Step 2 is a bit revolutionary, I think. And I think it's awesome. It's definitely modern. Step number 2 is we're going to separate the person that you thought this person was before this betrayal. We're going to separate that person out from the person that this person is, okay? So the facade is going to come out of this person's body. And this is going to become the outline for your new boo, okay, that you're going to be manifesting, because that is the law of attraction, okay? So one great thing that this person did for you, they put on a show and gave you a demonstration of a character as the leading person, the leading actor, that was precisely everything you've ever wanted in a partner, right? Mostly. I mean, you know what qualities that you're missing, that you're upset went away when you found out about this betrayal. You found out that's not the person that you thought they were. And you're missing and you're longing for. You're hurting so bad over this person that they pretended to be. So guess what that means? If you're hurting over and in love with this person that they pretended to be, guess what that means? That means you're not in love with that person that hurt you. You're not in love with that person. That person's a messed up betrayer. That you're not in love with that person. The person you're in love with was the character, okay? So you're not missing them. So whatever their name is, like Bob, Sam, Stephanie, I don't know. I'd like to apologize in advance to every Bob, Sam, and Stephanie who happened to watch this. But to be fair, it's actually a compliment because those are the first literal names that came into my head. Whatever their name is, you don't love them. You don't miss them. You're not longing for them. If you saw that person the way that they are being to you now, I wouldn't have picked this person if I saw that behavior on day one.
How about that?
So I'm not missing that person. That's just the face that I have placed upon this character build of the actual person that I'm looking for in life. So now, by law of attraction, I can map out my exact partner that I am looking for, that I expect for myself and that I deserve, and that will make me happy. And then you incorporate that into your daily thoughts, your daily beliefs, everything that you believe is coming your way, and you will attract it, because that's how the mind works. You say every day, you speak into existence that you're looking for this, you are deserving of this, you want this, this is how you'll feel when you get that. Then start to imagine that feeling. Oh my gosh, I'm with my partner in the future and everything is exactly how I thought it would be. We're in our house, it looks like this. And then you feel those feelings that you're going to feel when you get there. You have to put yourself in that mindset. Like a magnet, it's going to pull that into your life. You're going to attract that into your life because like energy gravitates together. You will not attract another Stephanie. Stephanie. Cornelius, I don't know. Additionally, to all Stephanies and Corneliuses, I apologize. You're going to attract the person of your dreams, and you're going to give that person a new name, because that's not that person. That person was parading around like that person with a false face, and that's not who they are. So you don't miss them. Today, we're separating the two people out, okay? So you need to go to your laptop or write it down in your journal. I want you to write it out somehow. You can type it or write it, but you need to make a map, a word map. Try to avoid physical appearance, okay? Because you never know. So you're just going to talk about qualities, values, how they treat you, what you're looking for, what you want in somebody, okay? What you thought this person was when they were parading around like they were this guy or this woman. When it comes to manifestation, the whole you can speak it out into the world and it will gravitate towards you. It's a new concept, and as far as when I was growing up, that's not what we were taught. I had never heard about this before a few years ago. So the first time I heard about it, I was like,
Okay, no.
I remember the very first time my brother told me, this is so funny. The first time he was like,
yeah, we have a lot more power than we even know, and none of us know it because they keep it from us.
I don't know who they is.
It's they don't want us to know about it. They don't want us to know what we can.
I'm like,
Who is it? Who's doing it? Who's doing it? Where are they?
I don't know. I still don't know who they is, but I was very skeptical back then. And then I just remember asking him
Okay, so are you trying to tell me if we believe we can fly, we could just jump off a building and then we would fly?
And he's like,
essentially.
You can go away. I was like, you've been on some good Something's wrong with you. I don't know what you've been smoking. I think you're doing a little too much.
I was like,
Okay, It's a lot.
I thought he was out of his mind. Needless to say, I did not believe in manifestation or affirmations and creating your own reality and all that. But I was swayed over the years because I have an open mind. I try not, I don't often say that's absolutely not true. I won't believe in that. I refuse that. I will say I don't have enough information. I don't see anything that tells me definitively that this is true. So I'm going to say it's possible, but I don't know. So I would say with manifestation, or your thoughts and your beliefs and your words and your everything like that create your own reality, and everybody's reality is perspective based, and that we're creating it. It's not actually here like the way we think it is. I was very much sure that wasn't true when he first presented it to me. And now I'm leaning more towards, I'm pretty sure it is true. I'm actually like fairly certain it's true. So, and that's just from opening my mind to it, looking into the studies about it, witnessing in my environment things happening that it makes sense about, taking out biases, taking everything into consideration, like the fact that if I'm looking for it, I will probably find it, and things like that. I am a thorough researcher, and I am very dedicated to truth. So, all of that to say that if I'm suggesting this to you, it's because I have a large faith in it that I have looked into for an extended period of time. And also, my brother shocked the hell out of me by putting it into action in his own life and giving me a run for my money with this one. So I want to tell you a quick little story about how this man, he manifested his perfect partner. I watched it happen, okay? And if that was a coincidence, then oh well. I'll still believe in it and try it because, like, goodness, that was amazing. The way this happened, it was crazy, okay? So my brother had pretty much like the same type of dating history as me, same type of relationship. So really good in the beginning, seems like a great person, then slowly just devolves into this nightmare of someone treating you like complete garbage, and then it goes on and on. He stays too long and then just gets torn apart. Breakup's terrible. So same scenarios. He was living out the same story a lot. So we figured out that we had a lot of the same self-limiting beliefs, and that was why. It was our subconscious story that we were self-fulfilling prophecy over and over again, right? So that backs this theory. That's the whole point. My subconscious is currently, if your subconscious has negative self-limiting beliefs in it, then you're manifesting those beliefs over and over into your reality. So if you can interrupt it, subconscious mind is programmed by repetition and emotional imagery and emotion. So when you put all those together and you do it in a repetition, that's how you change those thoughts. That's how they got in there in the first place. Repetition in childhood and in young adult. And if you go through something very impactful and you have repetition and a lot of emotion, they can get changed again. So it can happen when you're an adult too. It's just that when you're an adult, it tends to be very negative emotion always. It's not a lot of like happy ones that are happening. So you have to actually focus and make happy ones happen. So once you know that's how the subconscious is programmed, then you can put it into practice with positive things that you actually want to put in there. So that's the secret, okay? I just gave you guys the goods. Like that is the secret. There's a lot more to it, but I mean, like, that's the basis of it. My brother, I kind of like blew him off a while, like when he kept telling me about this all the time. And I was in my relationship at that time, the one that I've talked about. And he was going through like a really crappy situationship at the time that he kept thinking, you know, was going to turn into a relationship. It never did. And it was really up and down, always terrible times between them, always not getting along. He was not happy. After that last one, he kept trying to tell me, like, you can manifest the person that you want. He told me, I'm going to manifest my boyfriend, my next boyfriend. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make this person come right into my life. They're going to walk right into my life. And he started doing that. Can I tell you this? Guys, my brother literally met someone on a dating app he was just gonna meet up with them. This person did not have a picture, nothing. They were gonna meet, okay? He was bored. Met this person randomly after doing this for a while with intention, saying these manifestations, putting the motion into the, whatever. He met the absolute perfect man for him They hang out every freaking day. They're attached at the hip. This person is absolutely dedicated to him, in love with him. Same both ways. I don't know if I'm telling the story clear enough for you to understand how crazy this was. What are the chances? He never saw the person. This person did not have anything on their profile, did not have a picture, nothing. He meets the person. He fits the physical attraction he's physically attracted to, perfect to a T. This person was everything that he put in his manifestation. This person literally walked right into his life, and they've been together since, and it's almost been a year, and they're great. They're like the best couple I've ever seen. Like they get along great. They do everything together. Like they're so sweet to each other. It's everything. We've never had a relationship like that, like with any person we've been with, ever. It always starts to devolve by this time. He did it. He really did it. He did it. And like, so I'm not saying like I needed proof, but like that was pretty, that was swaying. People try to downplay the whole like energy thing and manifesting and whatever, but it's like, is it so far-fetched that we would produce, like our brains operate off of our thoughts and what we can literally make ourselves believe things. Our brains are very powerful, and I think it's quite likely that is exactly how our world operates. That is exactly how reality operates, and that's exactly what our power is to do. So, I mean, I literally saw it in action in someone's life who believes in it very strongly. He completed the task, y'all. You're going to attract the person of your dreams, and you're going to give that person a new name. Currently, I am not ready for pursuing another love interest, so that's just not what I'm focusing on right now. And even if you're not, it doesn't mean that you can't separate out the person that you now know is the person that you're looking for when you are ready. And it could change. This is something you can always add to, develop. This will give you an idea. This is my example. And so you see how I'm sticking to things like attributes and what I would want to see him behave like. Just think about the things that stood out to you in the beginning when everything was good and everything was perfect and you felt so much like this was the love of your life. You're going to put all of those things on here so that you can see it and read it and speak it into existence, so that you can draw it near to you. Look at my man, y'all. But you see, like these are actual things that are very important to me. Like I really did make this. So that's something that you're going to create for step 2. All right? You got this. Oh, and of course, this is for all people, whatever gender you are, whatever gender you date, whatever it is, you just make it accordingly. Okay, number 3 is really, I love number 3, okay? It's find your glow. Glowing. Now, this is not, I just had an epiphany. This is the glow up.
Wow.
This is the glow up.
Wow.
Oh my God. Number 3 is the glow up. If you've ever heard of shadow work, your shadows are the parts of you that you are ashamed of. And usually if you have parts of yourself that you're ashamed of and you see it in someone else, you see them reflecting that trait, sometimes you will be triggered by that and you'll be extra irritated by people that have that trait because you hate that trait in yourself. So that is called your shadow. And then that's why a big part of people's growth sometimes is to do their shadow work. So it's where you explore that part of yourself and acknowledge that you have that trait. Because usually your shadow is hidden from you. So you aren't aware that the reason it irks you is because you are afraid that that is you. And that you are ashamed of having that trait. Okay? So, number 3 is in the opposite of the shadow, the glow. So I call it the glow. I made that up. Literally just made it up. Now I love it. Thais Gibson, she calls it your golden shadow. So that's cute too. What we're attracted to in people when we first meet them are parts of ourselves that we haven't quite built up yet. So it'll be parts of ourselves that are missing, that we want, we need, we're starving for these things. But when it's somebody that is unhealthy for you or is going to end up betraying you, the reason that you were more likely to overlook a lot of red flags that probably came your way before the whole thing went kaboom is because they had those. And when we're starving, probably more likely to accept some of the bad things that come along with it, right? If you're starving for something. Imagine if you're in a desert, okay, and you are thirsty you haven't had a drink of water. You're hot. You're crawling in the sand. If somebody comes along and they have a canteen of water,
I don't need it.
And you can barely speak because your throat is so dry. You need this. It's vital to you. You have to have it.
I don't need it.
And they say,
I have this great canteen here for you, but like, I did dribble a little bit of poison in it.
Definitely don't need it. I don't need it.
But it might be okay. I don't know. Here.
I don't need it. I don't need it.
it'd be really hard,
I don't need it.
really hard for you not to drink that water and take that risk, right?
I need it!
With the poison and all. And that's what you do in relationships. You have parts of you that are so thirsty.
Wait.
But that's not that kind of thirsty, okay? We're not thirsty. It's just that these are the things that you are really, really wanting because you don't have that in yourself to give to yourself. If you had it built up in yourself, someone's not going to be able to do this to you again. You're not going to be so quick to take crap
Catch me outside.
mixed into your water, okay? You're going to wait out the pure water, okay? You're not going to accept no crappy water, intention water. No. No. That's what your work is. This is going to help you map out a plan of self-improvement. So guess what your glow up is? You're going to find in that person that they pretended to be at the beginning, or that they were and then they came up with some justification of why they didn't stay that way. You're going to pick out the things that you noticed in them at the time when you fell in love with them that were those things. So for example, if you met someone who was very outgoing and confident, and when you would go out socially with them, it's something that you really didn't enjoy because when you would do it before, because you get so stressed out and you have social anxiety maybe. I'm literally talking about myself. And then this person is like just so carefree and just makes it so fun and keeps it like lighthearted and it just makes you feel alive, makes you feel comfortable doing that and makes you have fun. So you would put confidence and a commanding presence amongst social situations and comfortable in social situations, extroverted maybe, whatever it was that drew you in because you didn't quite have that quality built up in yourself. Another one for me was external validation. Such a big one. It's literally the biggest one. It's my number one. I need to learn how to validate myself. I need to learn how to be everything that I need to hear from anybody should come right from inside this head right here, and that should be enough. And that is who I am and tried and true, and nobody else can tell me any different. And I'm not there yet by any means, and I am working hard, okay? That's my work. So think about what yours is. What was it that was in this person that you were willing to overlook all the bad things because you couldn't let this go? Because you loved it so much and you needed it. Write that down. Number 4. Number 4 is you're going to write out your breakup story, your pain story, your betrayal story. For this exercise, you do need to put it in physical form. So it's going to need to be on a paper. Okay, so if you write it or type it, that's great. If you want to record it, you can do that as long as you're going to get it out in words. You're going to see it, you're going to hear yourself saying it and process it, okay? Because it needs to be processed. It needs to be said out loud or written out and read, okay? And then if you're going to do a digital copy of it, you're going to have to ascribe a physical manifestation of it. Like basically say well, this is my representation page of my story that I recorded. Okay, so just make sure you give it its due diligence, okay? That'll work too. Because what you're gonna end up doing eventually is a ceremony to let it go. So we need a physical document. This concept came from Matthew Hussey. He's a relationship expert and he has his platform and everything. He's really well known. I'm sure you know him. He said something about, I'm not going to say the exact quote so I might get it a little bit wrong, but it was something to this effect. Sometimes what we do when we leave a relationship, we don't acknowledge how low it actually was, how bad it actually was. That's why it feels like such a loss. We're losing something that we love so much because we're not acknowledging the state that the relationship was actually in. We're mulling over the potential that the relationship had in our minds. So what he said was, if you Acknowledge where you actually are, no matter how low and how painful it might be, and how embarrassing and how crappy and it's not where you want to be, and how desperately low that relationship had gotten. Being back at square one, it's not so bad. Because listen, right now, you are thinking about all the things you lost, like, I lost this relationship that's up here. I lost my future with the person I thought I would be with forever. I lost the house we were going to have together. I lost the children we were going to have. I lost the great careers we were going to be the power couple. I don't know, whatever. On my jet we were going to get. You lost all that. If you lost all that, then yeah, going back to ground zero is terrible.
That grosses me out.
The way that you can see progress as progress is by acknowledging where you actually were. It's like if you were in debt $10,000. This is the analogy he uses. If you never acknowledged that you were in debt and you say,
I'm at 0.
it sounds like you didn't get anything accomplished. It sounds like a bummer, right? But if you acknowledge the debt that was removed from you, that massive amount of debt that was removed from you, you just rose so many levels. You just made so much progress. 0's not looking so bad anymore. So if you acknowledge the relationship for what it really was when you left it, then you can see that getting back to square one is actually a lot of progress for you. And now you are open again to the real relationship that you actually want coming into your life. So you're going to write about all the things in this relationship that were removed from you, that were no longer serving you. So that means, the things that you don't have to deal with anymore that were bringing you down. The $10,000 negative in that bank account, you're going to write about those things. Like someone putting you down every day and squashing your self-esteem completely, all the work you'd done. Somebody telling you that you're not good enough. Somebody making you the butt of their joke, walking on eggshells. Whatever it is, whatever you're not going to have to deal with anymore, that was one of those deficits, put that in your pain story, okay? Because that's actually really good. It's not really part of the pain. Those are things you lost that you needed to lose. You want to lose those things. You're going to include all of the things that you're telling yourself that this betrayal means about you. This can be one of the most painful points that's bringing up all your pain. This is like one of the heaviest parts of the pain, is what you're telling yourself in your mind that this breakup or this betrayal means about you personally, or about what is going to happen now in your life, okay? And don't hold back. This is for you. So you can be very authentic and open and honest. I would say, I'm making this betrayal mean about me that I'm actually just not good enough. I'm making this betrayal mean about me that I'm never going to get a good man. That I can't trust myself. I'm making this betrayal mean about me that I've lost all my chances and now I'm doomed. I can't try again because I'm just too hurt. I'm just too knocked down. I don't know who to trust. I'm making this betrayal mean about me that I'll never have the life that I thought I once would have with this person. Whatever it is. I'm making this betrayal mean about me that all the things that he said that were bad about me, he was right. Whatever. Anything that you're making it mean about you. A lot of our thoughts every day, 95% of them, a lot of those things where our feelings are coming from, they're not even in our conscious mind. So a lot of these things that are causing your such heavy emotions are the results of your subconscious self-limiting beliefs running in overdrive right now, because your subconscious just got a whole lot of really terrible beliefs re-verified for it. It's in there mulling over the fact that this solidifies that. And you may not even know it. So whatever you do to get a clear head and really be able to think deeply, quiet space, and think about what this means about you. Not what it really means, but what your subconscious is telling you that it means. And that's what's causing your pain, your deep pain, your really bad pain. My pain got really bad during this. This was the most painful experience that I've experienced in my life up to now. This betrayal. It nearly took me out. Okay? I was down bad. In those really dark moments, what you do is you say, I'm having this behavior right now. So I'm crying from my gut, like my guttural cry right now on the floor in a fetal position because I feel defeated. I can't go on. Like, I am broken. I could not get the pain to stop. And it wasn't letting up for hours and hours and hours, and I was just suffering. And in those moments, what I was making this betrayal mean about me was that I was worthless, that I had no one, that no one loves me, and that my life is not worth anything, that I'm not worth anything, that this person wouldn't care if I no longer existed, that this person has ruined me. I can't go on. I am a terrible mother. No one needs me. No one's going to help me. No one's going to save me. And it didn't help that in these times I was still reaching out to that person. And I was telling him that that was where I was. And his response was, he basically confirmed everything I was thinking about myself and told me that I'm a burden and told me this is probably why I don't have friends. This is probably what I had friends. I had friends. That was a low blow for him to say that. And he kicked me while I was down. He kicked me and kicked me and kicked me while I was down every single time. When I was at my absolute lowest, I even told him that I was not okay and that I really was hurting. And that I really was hurting and I was worried about how I was feeling and the thoughts that were going through my head. And that I couldn't take it to him anymore, and I didn't matter to him, and it was all just fake, and it never mattered. And I felt like the last 3 years of my life had been a joke and a big trick. And all I wanted so badly was, for my injurer to save me, which was not going to happen. And I got a real lesson in why you don't do that, because he did not show any bit of concern or sympathy or compassion for me in that low moment. He pretty much told me, I don't want to deal with this. Go find somebody else to, don't you have somebody to help you? This is a lot of a burden to put on somebody. That's what he said. And he said it was the day of Super Bowl. He was trying to enjoy Super Bowl, and that I was really dampening that for him. That he was just ruining my reputation. I was just asking him, please stop all of this. And my son, this really got to me. I'm sorry, I gotta get this out. My son, we had Thanksgiving, obviously our families would have Thanksgiving together. And one time at Thanksgiving, my son, he stood there in the prayer circle holding hands, and we all went around and said what we were thankful for. My son's not super affectionate, lovey-dovey, sentimental type kid. He's just like a regular. He was 9 years old at the time. When it got to him, there was no prompting for this. There was never any talk of this. This is all straight from this kid's heart. He said, I am grateful for being a part of this family. And I thought he was talking about our family, because our family was there too. But he went further and he said, I'm really thankful to be and then he said my ex's last name in front of my ex's mother, father, sibling. He said that, and they all heard him say that. And it's like, the way there's a certain level of responsibility that you take hold of when you include a child in something like this. And I thought that he was of the caliber that he understood that the way my child's heart had to break too. My child cried. He cried when we had to leave. He cried so much. He had to leave a dog that he loved. He had to leave his room. He had to leave all his friends that he went to school with. Just like that. And this person has not been in contact with my child. He doesn't care about it. He doesn't care about it. This devastated me to no end. I lost a whole family of people. My son lost a whole family of people, a whole life that he had gotten accustomed to, he gotten used to, that he liked and enjoyed. And we've been from some hell before that, He got this person gifts on Father's Day and cards saying Happy Father's Day. And so it's unbelievable the way this person just thought it was okay to just do us like that. There was no decency about it. And so, yeah, that's what I was making it mean about me. I now know that that doesn't mean anything about me. It means a whole lot about that person. That's all. That's it. And that's what this is aimed for. So you got to figure out what you're making it mean about you, because it's not true. Okay? Let's bring it back. We're healing, we're helping, we're getting back to self. That's what all of this is about. Betrayal is about healing yourself. You lost a piece of yourself. Someone took a chunk of you out, and it probably was a big chunk of your heart. They took something out of you that was a part of your core being, your who you were at your core. And you're now in a space where you can never go back. The path that you traveled through, the brush is too thick, and you can't ever go back to it. So you came forward, and now you're just in this space. You're not where you're trying to get to. This is not where you want to end up. You have farther to go, and you don't know what that looks like. It's scary, because it's unknown. You know what that looked like, and you kind of miss it, because when you are oblivious to something, ignorance is bliss, they say. And sometimes I would do that all the time. I would lay in bed at night when I would be in so much pain and feel like my life was so empty from the way I had just been gutted of all these things that I thought were mine forever and were real, and they weren't. I would think to myself, I wish I could just go back to that place of just not knowing. I want to not know so bad again, just for a little bit. That's the bargaining stage right there. That's an example of it. So you say, please, I wish I could just go back to that time when I still thought this person loved me, when I believed this person loved me, when I believed this person was going to be there for me, when I believed in him. I know now I would never want to go back there. But for a moment, you're just in limbo. Limbo is terrible. Limbo is like you're on unstable ground. You don't know where you're going. You can't go back where you've been. You're somewhere that you don't want to be. It's very uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable place that you're going to be in for a little while in your life. And what you just have to do is transition your mind from looking backwards and wishing that you could go back there, and transitioning to understanding and trusting in the universe that it is going to bring into your life the things that you deserve this time. You're going to learn from this, and this time you're going to have something much brighter in the future that's going to look like cow poop. You're going to be like, I can't believe I was over there. And that now you're just building yourself up to be that person. That energy can exist in that realm, because that is what you're destined for. And you got to get self back so that you can take that journey, okay? That's what we're doing here. That's what all these steps are going to help you do. All right? So you got what you're making it mean about you, what you're making it mean is going to happen to you, okay? So you got that all out. Some parts are going to be parts that are for you to keep and formulate your map and your plan for self-improvement around. And then some other parts are going to be part of the letting go ceremony. The things that you're going to purge out of your life. The things that don't serve you. The things that you don't need to dwell in any longer. The things that needed to be felt, processed, witnessed, and then let flow away out of you. Pain is a necessary part of life. You need to feel it. You need to feel your negative emotions, but they were never meant to be held onto and repressed down deep inside of you, or kept in your body for too long. You weren't meant to keep feeling them. You weren't meant to identify with them. So just because you feel shame, or you feel guilt, or you feel depressed, or anything like that, you're encouraged to feel that and then let them flow up out of you, witness them happening, and acknowledge that they happened. But you don't pull them in and make them your core personality and a determination about you. You witness, don't identify, okay? That's how I'm not perfect at this, but that was a monumental turning point of my life to learn that, because I never was processing my emotions correctly at all. That's why it's been a rough road for me with that. I was identifying with all of them. Everything I felt, I was. If I felt If I thought something, I was that. If someone thought something about me or made me feel a certain way, and I identified. I didn't witness. I witnessed and identified. I took it personally. That's what you're encouraged not to do. You don't need to make everything personal. Things don't have to be personal.
Don't take it personal.
Even then,
It's just
in a way, they're not.
another
Even if someone's like directly attacking you,
day. Don't take it personal.
it still really just stems back to something inside of them. It's not personal.
Don't take it personal.
They'd be doing that to whoever is in your place. You know, like that's something that they would be doing. That's their issue. It's not really about you. Then the next part, you're going to write how that made you feel. Write out all your feelings. You need to feel these feelings and you need to get them out of you, okay? And you're going to let them all, I don't know if you meditate or like how you process your feelings, if you like to get a nice hot bath or whatever makes you feel calm and at ease, do that. And I want you to get all these feelings out, get them written down, everything you feel. I feel. I'm going to show you. I did this. This is my list. It doesn't show the whole thing, but you get the picture. It's just, I feel. I just wrote like, I don't even know how many I had. I think I got to like number 27. And these are some ideas if you're having trouble thinking of what's a feeling. For that first portion, you can just kind of put all that together. So like you can put all the things that you're losing that no longer serve you and that are needed to be lost together with all your feelings. And you can put it into sentences like this. So you would say, this is just a made up example, but I will no longer have to feel so much stress and anxiety every day from living with a thief. When she stole my car and sold it on eBay, I felt disrespected, taken advantage of, and enraged. Okay, something like that. So you're going to say like what they did to you and how you're no longer going to have to deal with something and how it made you feel when you did have to deal with that. The next part is the needs that were being met through the relationship from this person. Some of this could have been addressed in number 3 maybe. Some of the needs that you have that you saw in the glow. If you put that in already up there, you don't have to like repeat it, but these are needs like physical affection. Maybe they were serving a connection need, closeness. They could have been serving a need of friendship, family unit, a feeling of peace, a feeling of security, stability. So write out all the needs of yours that were being fulfilled by this relationship that you're now going without ever since this relationship has not been in your life. The next part is we're going to pretend that this relationship did not end, but it did not improve. So pretend you're still in that and this breakup didn't happen. So what would it cost you to still be in this relationship, but it's still exactly the way it presented on the last day that you were in it, and it wouldn't change? Well, what would that cost you in your life? So this would be things like my self-confidence. It would cost me my dignity. It would cost me if somebody was controlling you or not letting you have your friends or family around or something, or isolating you. It would cost me my friends and family, things like that. So nothing was going to change and you never would have broken up with this person. What would your life look like moving forward, staying in that relationship? And what would it cost you? At what cost to you would you have had to pay to stay in it? Okay. And the last one is, this one's hard. Okay. I'm going to tell you, this one was like literally the stopping point for me every time. Because I tried to do this like early on, like a month or two after we broke up. And every time I got to this part, I was like, forget it. I hate everything. And I just give up. Because this part is really hard when your heart is still really raw and healing. Okay. So if you're in only a few weeks or months or days or whatever, if you're like barely into the breakup, if this part gets hard for you, just give yourself some time. You're not through the like feeling your feelings stage yet then, okay? And that's totally okay. And you need to take your time and do that. So then just keep coming back to it. You can always come back to it. There's no time limit. All right? Do what you can. You're only human. This is the toughest pain of your life. I can explain something because I am a mother of 2 children, okay? I've given birth to 2 children, okay? I have had physical harm done to me. I've experienced a lot of things. Nothing in my life, whether physical or emotional, nothing, not a thing, has been more painful than the pain of betrayal from someone I thought loved me so much. Nothing hurt like that. Nothing nearly took me all the way out of myself like that. I didn't feel like I could get through it. I didn't think I was going to make it. I'm not even joking. That the betrayal. So give yourself a break. This is painful. This is so painful. And I have to hope that people who do this to other people just have no clear idea how much this pain hurts. Because I would have to believe, unless someone is an absolute evil, just bad to the bone, no heart in their chest, that anyone who knew this pain could not, with a clear conscience, cause it on someone that they claimed to love. They could not. They could not stand by and watch that happen to somebody. Whether they know or not, the point is, take your time, because it's hard and you totally deserve time to get through it. So don't be too hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. Yeah. What did you gain from going through this experience? So what are the good things that came out of this? And this is the one that used to just grind my gears, because I was like, nothing! Took everything good from me. I didn't want to think of the fact that I went through it and it's over now and I learned a lesson from it. That just burned my whole world down. I hated the thought of that. I don't want to know. I don't want to accept that this was a lesson. How insulting, you know? I thought this was my forever, and I just to have to accept what I gained from it and be like,
Well, at least I got this.
no, I'm pissed, bro. I'm pissed. I didn't want to just get that lesson. Like, I wanted him. I loved him so much. I was just hurting, and I didn't give a shit what I got good out of it if it wasn't him. So that's why this part can be hard. But it's also the most beautiful part of the whole thing, because you did get something great out of it. You got a lot of probably really good things out of it, and that's what it was meant to do for you. So just remember that. What lessons did you learn by going through this profoundly difficult and painful situation that you can capitalize on now? I liked the phrasing of that question. So, for example, I never would have stumbled across subconscious mind and attachment theory and all of these things if I was not in this relationship. It's what led me to be interested in that. It's what made me dig so deeply in it and made me get so invested in it. So I would never have this YouTube channel, y'all, if I didn't go through this relationship. I wouldn't. Like, hello? I mean, in case I didn't say it before, that question is literally what led me to start this YouTube channel, because I was like, what can I capitalize on? What can I gain from this? I can spread the word of attachment theory to people that it could help the way it helped me. So that's how that works. So think of something for you. It can be a lot of things. It can be a lot like things like I gained strength that I didn't have before. Pain is a catalyst for intense strength that you can't get any other way. Okay, and suffering brings a character in some people that don't let it break them, that don't let it harden them. It brings a extreme level of character, strength, and endurance to people. And while it sucks thoroughly to have to get it that way, there's nothing else that can bring you that. So you wear it almost like a badge of honor, and like it's very reputable and very honorable when you have some of those qualities. So just remember that. That's kind of cool. Yeah. I gained an outline of what I am truly looking for in a partner. There were a lot of things in this relationship that I saw that I didn't even know I didn't even know would make me so happy, but they did when I saw them in the beginning. I got to experience that, and I got to know that it can exist, and that is what will make me that way. That is what will make me feel that happy, if we're talking about when I'm in a partnership, because obviously I can make myself happy, and I'm going to work on that as well. But while in a relationship, those are the qualities that I want in another person, and that's the type of relationship that I want to have. I realized a lot of the things that I was not willing to have in my relationship anymore as well once it started to go down the tubes. I was not willing to have a relationship that had drama and silent treatments and mystery and not supporting your partners. Like, I'm not playing that game. I don't want any of that anywhere near me ever again. Like, we're going to be adults. We're going to communicate, and if we're going to be together, we like each other and we treat each other nicely. Like, it's obvious. So I know a lot more about what I want now. And so it will not be difficult to find. This part is your new story. The point of this is we're going to be purging the old story. We're going to be purging the kind of filtered to the negative, crappy story that makes you really sad, that isn't even accurate. And we're going to replace it with the more accurate story that's going to empower you. And it's going to be your new story about this breakup, about this betrayal. And we're going to purge the old, and we're going to embrace and manifest the new, okay? All right, on to step 5. Step 5 is self-reflection. You're going to ask yourself, what role did I play in the path that led to this breakup or this betrayal? Now, you didn't cause a betrayal, but like, what led up to it? What? Every relationship is a dynamic that happens because two people are participating in it. And that's not to blame any victims. That's not to blame you or anything. Like, you may feel like everything was your partner's fault, and that would be the first mistake you're making, because fault and blame has no place here if you want to grow. Okay? But what happened is someone played one role and someone played the other role. So all you need to do is evaluate what your role was. How did you show up? And see, what traits did I carry into this breakup that no longer serve me? Or what traits did I carry into the less positive parts of the relationship that no longer serve me? You know, what triggers showed up in this relationship? Why did they show up? And how can I improve before my next relationship? Okay, so evaluate what your triggers were. And for your time period in between, when you're, transitioning from the breakup to healed, think about someone that you look up to, that you find to be a very honorable person, that if you could say there's somebody that you would like to behave like, it would be that person in all scenarios. And think about what traits they would have if they were going through this transition. And then those are the traits that you'll want to work on. What areas of my life have freed up that could use some attention that I was not able to give while I was in this relationship or while I was breaking up? This could be friendships, social life, hobbies, family, pets, charity work, spirituality, career, all of those. So when we're in a relationship, especially one that consumes a lot of our emotional energy, some of our other areas of life kind of go down the tubes. Step 6 is going to be your letting go ceremony. This one is the finale. Okay? This part is so fun and so freeing. The letting go ceremony is you are going to let go of what was not accurate in this story. So you're going to let go of what was not serving you. You're going to let go of what you're making it mean about you, what you're making it mean about what's going to happen to you. And you're going to let go of the negative ways that it impacted you, all the painful stories that you're telling yourself, all the painful rehashings of how this person treated you and how they made you feel. And finally, what it would have cost you if you had stayed. You're going to let all of those things go. We'll want to do this with either a fire burning ceremony, and please don't burn anything else. Like, please be safe. You need to do this in a controlled area, in a fire pit, or don't do it on your mom's stove or something. I'm not responsible for anybody doing weird things with fire, okay? So a controlled fire, and you need to be an adult to do this, so please. And you're going to only burn paper. You're not going to burn anything else. If you have some photos or letters or anything that you wanted to get rid of, I don't necessarily influence you to burn memories. I would keep those away somewhere when your heart and your mindset is in a better place to receive those in a already forgiven state, when you've already forgiven this person and when you can reflect on them fondly. But for now, what I suggest is you put them all into a box, like a shoebox or something, and you put them away somewhere that's not accessible. Like, put them in the basement, put them in an attic, put them in a closet at the top where you can't really reach very well unless you get on a chair or something. But put them away, out of sight, out of mind, until when you look upon them, they no longer bring a heavy, painful, emotional reaction out of you. You can also alternatively do a water ceremony. So if you don't want to do fire, you can do water. And this would be just letting the paper go into a waterway. Okay, so, or you can do air. You can do where you tie it to a helium balloon and let it float away. Make sure anything that you use is environment friendly. So biodegradable, okay? This is the transcript. This is for the ceremony, and this is the one I wrote. You can tweak it around any way that you want. You can write your own, you can take some parts out, put some more parts in, whatever you want, okay? But you can like totally use it word for word if you want, if it feels like it connects. At your ceremony, you are first going to read your pain story from beginning to end. And you want to invite someone to have this ceremony with you. You can invite everybody if you want. Depends on like how much you feel open about this, but at least have one person there that's very close to you, okay? So don't do this all by yourself. You want someone there to witness and someone there for support. So you're gonna have the fire burning or balloon ready or whatever water you're placing it in to dissolve it. And even if you opt to skip the speech, make sure you skip to the end of that and still watch the end, because I do still have a special surprise in store for you and you don't want to miss it. The next part, you can skip ahead. I have the timestamps in the description if you don't want to witness or use the script that I have written video. Otherwise, here is my speech. Dear Universe, I stand before you today, not as a victim of betrayal and heartbreak, but as a survivor who has emerged from the depths of pain stronger and more resilient than ever before. Life has a way of testing our strength, and I've been through a storm that nearly swept me away. But here I stand. I've looked in the mirror, not to dwell on my scars, but to see the glimmer of resilience in my eyes. These eyes have witnessed pain, but they have also seen the power of healing and self-love. Although I didn't enjoy suffering that pain, I now understand that it was necessary and that I am truly a better version of myself because of it. Carbon atoms in their natural form make up graphite, which is used in pencil lead. A pencil has a monetary value of less than $1. Those same atoms, when they are buried deep within the Earth's mantle, come under extreme heat and pressure, forcing them to rearrange themselves into a crystal lattice structure, creating an incredibly hard and transparent substance. By definition, we could say that the carbon atoms that formed the graphite came under intense heat and pressure and were dismantled, disfigured, and broken because of it. Or we could re-examine the outcome of this grueling battle and the condition it left the graphite in. Is there another perspective we could see this through? I am just like the graphite, and this relationship and betrayal put me under intense heat and pressure. And for a long while, I felt like I was broken. Through healing and a shift in my perspective, learning how to better love myself, finding my power again, I have turned into something new. For the carbon atoms that endured all of those circumstances and rose up now in a crystal lattice structure and an incredibly hard and transparent substance is known as a diamond. And while its previous form was worth less than $1, its worth could now be hundreds of millions of dollars. But even more so, now its value is understood and known by many. And its value, when given as a special token of affection, is priceless. This betrayal did not crush nor burn me up. It shaped me into a diamond. I released the pain of the past. I let go of the betrayal and the heartbreak. These experiences do not define me. They were stepping stones on my path to greatness. You're going to then read your parts of the pain story that I told you that you were going to release, and you're going to say, I release, and then you read number 1. Then you read the second part, all the parts in number 4 that I talked about. And then at the end, you say, I am now letting this go. I have done my full honorable time to these painful emotions, and I am now releasing them back into the universe through this fire in hopes that what was broken or felt broken will always form into a diamond. And then you just enter it into the fire, and you can play like your favorite song, whatever uplifts you, and you just let it burn back into the universe. And you feel like with your breath, you feel, and with the smoke rising, you feel it releasing and going out into the universe. So making that an actual action, you might think I'm crazy, and maybe that's not something you do a lot. But I cannot tell you enough how going through the motions of something that is really programmed into our minds as being a process and like signaling in our brain something happening really gets us to feel like something happened, something shifted. But if you're having trouble emotionally letting go of something, try to physically let it go, because that's something that we're accustomed to associating. When I do this, that is gone. So this really, really helps. And healing is never going to be check off these steps and now you're all healed forever. No, it's a process. This is just to get all of that really heavy initial pain kind of like off your shoulders so you can start to feel the progress and really feel like you've released a lot of that just unbearable weight. Okay? I love you. You're so strong. You're so amazing. You're the best for being here. And I can't express how much I appreciate you. I love that you're here. Also, I want to give you a gift. So for all of my lovely, amazing subscribers, for a limited time, when you do your glow work, so when you determine what your glow is, the things that you need to work on, that you initially were attracted to this partner because of you saw it in them and you need to build it up in you. If you're having trouble in that step where you need to now develop a self-development plan, a self-improvement plan from those things that you found out, as well as the things you're making it mean about yourself, stuff like that. If you would like your own free self-development personalized plan from myself, I will personally take a look at your answers to these questions, your glow work, and some of the things you wrote in the self-reflection area, just anything that it's like talking about improvement. And I will personalize a self-development plan just for you, and that is free to any of my subscribers, okay? And that is because I want to say thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. Every time you guys subscribe or you watch my videos, anything, I'm just like I'm really, really grateful. So I want to give back, and please let me know. My contact, it should be on my channel. You can just send to me and let me know that you would like to get that. Until next time, guys. I love you, I love you, I love you. Bye.